All right, hey, welcome to the, what is it? The 8th or the 9th day of a little, I think I lost track, of August 2025. My name is Kurt, and this is Retiring in Japan, the daily journal of a 61-year-old retired American living in Japan, adopting this place as my home in spite of my challenges. So I'm headed up to do radio exercise right now. I see a couple of other oldsters out for their morning strolls. The rice is growing so well. Yesterday, the farmer that has that field, let the water stop flowing. It's almost all clogged up with stuff. The plants are growing nicely here in the garden. And it's time for me to do my exercise. Now today, my main objective for today is to hopefully secure my be reissued my Japanese driver's license, which I let expire when I went back to live in America this last time. I was there for 11 years, and in which time my license expired. But fortunately, it looks like I don't have to do the whole road test thing again. Whoa, giant hornet. I just have to, literally a giant hornet buzzed right past me. Make the case that I was out of the country when it expired, so that they have good reason to believe that, well, I couldn't have renewed it because I wasn't here, and they'll reissue it. I know that this works because my wife did the same thing, and she came over successfully. Today's the last day. I get an interview today to make sure all my paperwork's in order. Some documents we had to translate. Hopefully they'll say yes. I'll get it back. Worst case scenario, I just have to take the test again, which is not a small thing. The test is kind of hard. My daughter, Emily, she's taking the test tomorrow to get her license in Japan. Good luck to you, Emily. So I'll take you along as we go. Excuse me, I should pick up the pace. Running a bit late for the morning exercise. I'll probably be already started when I get there. I was working on some product listings, taking advantage of this nice mellow weather to get the photography in for my antique listing and my product listing for the day. But enough chit chat. Let's pick up the pacing. Get exercise. Oh, they're just getting started. You see the two old women behind me. They live in this world of their own. I see them every day. I pass them exactly at that same spot every morning. We always say good morning, and they have this like a distracted good morning, a distracted Ohayou gozaimasu. Ohayou gozaimasu, almost like, they're so involved in whatever they're talking about. Like, it's like, there's this young guy saying good morning to us. And I've noticed that a lot of older people, when they're clustered together like that, they're like in their own little world, and this world that the younger people live in is something far away and distracting. I'm starting to feel that membership in that select group myself. Let's water the plants. Hi! Quick interruption of the watering. Rudy needed to go out, so I took him out real quick. Yumiko flagged me. But look at this. They've taken the forms off of the home here. And you can see the... change camera. You can see the concrete all dried foundation for the new house. Looking good. Come on, Rudy. Let's go water the plants. Come on. Good boy. Oh no, what happened here? My bad. Been in the roots. good size one. Okay. Nico found a giant huntsman in the bathroom area there. I got it trapped in this little box. Let's let it out. In the backyard. I found a giant huntsman over in the shed as well. Let's let it out over here. You guys can take a close look at it. Ah, there it goes. Ah. Jumping like... That's a medium-sized one. Not too big. Okay. Free! You're free to roam. So it's an overcast day, but I'll tell you this. Maybe it's just because it's overcast, but it really does feel like summer's going to soon start waning in earnest. Walking by the garden back there, the community garden, it really, really did look like you could just see the first touches of autumn coming in and summer going away. Let's take a look at how it's coming. The apartment complex is looking good. They've got the units. Now these are 2-story units. So the entrance here is for give you first and second floor with living space and then sleeping quarters on the second. These are actually pretty big. They're nice. Now they don't have much in terms of a yard out back. They don't have much in terms of a yard out back, but a little space. And see what I mean about autumn kind of appearing? Look at the drooping leaves there, but that's just normal part and parcel. Maybe it's just me reading too much into it. Okay, well underway, got a lot of videos done, dog walks complete, and look at this breakfast Emiko put together. Wow, that's as Japanese as it gets with umeboshi, I think, from our neighbor's yard, This is great. Itadakimasu. Hello, Softypapa here from the Softypapa store with a Japan treasure to share. This is a real special one, probably the largest item I've listed since I rebooted the store. This is a bamboo and lacquer serving tray with several types of craftsmanship that are very extraordinary. Let's take a close look. All right, so you can see the size of this tray relative to my hand. This would be a great serving tray for bringing out some snacks to a guest, maybe some rice crackers, something like that. And you can just look at that bamboo lattice. It's almost like just beneath the surface of a layer of lacquer. It's amazing the type of craftsmanship in this. Now my wife's uncle is a bamboo craftsman, and I remember going to his shop and having him show me the various things that he did and the incredible amount of work and apprenticeship that it requires to learn and master such a craft. That's the first trade that is involved. The second trade, of course, is the lacquerware. So typically the tray would have been formed by a bamboo craftsman and then given over to a lacquer craftsman who would have then finished the tray in black and red lacquer with gold accent. Now, let's talk a little bit about this decorative element here. These are called chidori. They are plover birds. And you can see these at the ocean, running along the waves at the shorefront. And they also can sometimes be seen flying amongst the waves from one shore to another. Now, what's interesting about them is the way that they fly in little clutches of groups of birds, flocks, I think we would say. And they are often darting at high speed just above the waves. What's especially interesting is when they're doing so just above a turning, tossing sea where the waves are rising. Hello. There's a bird, speaking of which, in my bamboo forest. What you doing over there? This is my backyard. And right now it's that time of the morning where the dragonflies are usually zipping all around. Oh, there goes the bird. And there's the dragonfly right there. There were about 30 or 40 of them 20 minutes ago. And this is my bamboo forest. But anyway, I digress. You can see these birds, and when they're flying just above the waves, the Japanese have leveraged that activity into an impression of perseverance and energetic life in the face of the tumultuous churnings of everything. And boy, those cicadas are hard to compete against, huh? So, can you give me a minute? So this is really nice. The chidori sea plover birds, everything. Now, I normally don't list items that are this big because shipping is a little bit problematic for a store that offers free shipping, but I'm going to go ahead and offer this one. I saw this at the antique fair, and I just had to have it. As always with the case, I like to use the things that are not I list them and then I'll use them myself. So I'll probably use this for, I sell, what are they called? Senbei, snacks. And like I said, this is a perfect container to display snacks on. So I'll use it until someone buys it. But I'll be very careful that I won't damage it. As for condition, there are just a few little marks. You can see a few scratches right there in the, there you go, in the lacquer. Otherwise, really, it's in good shape. You'll see a couple, maybe a little few marks here. I mean, just the slightest. I mean, so it's certainly used, but it's been reused very gently. It's just a stunning piece. I'm almost tempted not even to sell this. I just want to keep this for myself. It is so, look at that. Hand-painted Chidori sea plovers. As for age, I'd say this is probably, it's a little hard to guess because these things can really hold their condition well if they've been stored well. I would say that this is mid-Showa period, so let's say the 70s, 60s, 70s, although it could be much older than that. It could go right on back through to the, Taisho or Meiji period. So I'm talking turn of the 20th century time period, possibly, but it's hard to tell. Great item. I mean, authentic bamboo lacquer. I know I've gone on and on, but this is a special piece. Have a look at it. There's a link down below in the description. Purchase link if it's already gone. Have a look around my store. Maybe you'll find something else you like. Remember, free shipping always, anywhere in the world from the Softypapa store. Have a great day. Be safe, but not too safe. And here's a couple photos. I know. Well, I'm at the driving center here in Shizuoka, and I got the date wrong. I got the time wrong. The date was right. I'm supposed to be here in the morning, but it's afternoon, so you can't see me now. I have to reschedule. That's where you take your test, out there. So I'm disappointed, but on the flip side, I'll have my surgery before the next window of opportunity, so that's good. Okay, I'm back. I just completed my afternoon shipment. There's little Rudy waiting for me. It's gonna take me a little while to get back on my feet. I'm telling you, that experience really knocked me off my feet. Let me explain just a little bit. One of the things I'm wrestling with returning to Japan is my, and I use the word, very, very deliberately, my gross incompetence. Because it's not just your run-of-the-mill incompetence, or, just bumbling around once in a while. It's every time that I'm involved with the interfacing with the world here as an adult. I struggle, and I had forgotten that was one of the reasons I chose to leave Japan. I should have made some notes or something like that. I kept telling myself that I left Japan for opportunity, which is true, but it was the shadow reason. It was the secondary reason. The real reason was I was tired of being being unable to take care of myself, and I was tired of being incompetent, is basically it, which I am here, as I've said now repeatedly. So I left. Went back and as if to compound the fact, the fact that I just tried to move the camera and turn the camera off, let me grab a coffee and a corn dog and try to expound a little more on this. Wait here, Rudy. I'll be back in a second. He's got the engine on in the air conditioner, so he's cool. This 7-Eleven is my where I come every day after the show. Corn dog, deployed with ketchup and mustard, opened thusly, extracted thusly. Mustard and ketchup well deployed. One more time. 138 M. Like 80 cents. There's my boy. Nice air-conditioned dog. So, what I mean by all of that is, I didn't realize that I had left I had left Japan to escape my incompetency and maybe to have a stab at redemption in America, to prove to myself and to show my daughter that her dad wasn't incompetent. Not just that I could make a better living, not that I could be a good breadwinner and be successful at work, but to be competent. Now, there's another route that I could have taken, which was to try to embrace the skills necessary to become competent here. And I know, that's still there. I could still do that. I don't know what I'm going to do, but this is a real eye-opener. This experience today was a real eye-opener to me that of what I got myself into again. Because I've come back for good this time. Because I was actually driving back from the driving center and thinking, man, what have I gotten myself into? In a situation where I can't take care of myself, I have to rely on my wife for everything. I can't. Because it was all there. All the documentation said right there on the front of the document that my appointment was 8:30. Even without reading Japanese, it would have been clear. But my frame of mind is such that I can't understand that I relied upon the calendar entry that I had made on my phone, which was wrong. And I knew all along it was wrong. Even from yesterday, when I was looking at this stuff yesterday, I was like, damn it, something's not right. That appointment isn't at 1 o'clock. I've gone on and on, but hopefully I've conveyed the point. And that's the nice thing about this video, this series, is that it's general enough that I'm sharing the challenges raw sometimes, and visceral. Okay, I'm gonna drink my coffee and then go get tomorrow's inventory item list from the supermarket. Okay, my coffee break is done, and I went to Ando to get the senbei to list in the store. Ando, the home of everything. Just wanted to add that, you know, I'm in hindsight, the emotions kind of pass. I'm very grateful for the experience that happened today. I'm sorry that I put my wife through, you know, having to go to the driving center with me to no avail. And the people at the driving center who had to deal with the fact that I blew it, right? Because they had to reschedule. So I do feel very bad for that. But trying to always spin something useful out of this. I mean, I'm always trying to look where I handle. Okay, I'm very interested in how I handle things too. And during the moment, I knew I had made a mistake. I handled my emotions well. Hashtag temperance. Used hashtag reason. I used also to find my way through. And I used hashtag life will not go well, one of my principles from my creed, to remember that these things happen, which did help to mollify the emotions, which kind of carried on. And I imagine they will continue to carry on for like this for the rest of the day. But now I'm going to go home and just carry on myself. But I have been edified. I understand now better why I left Japan in the first place, and a struggle that I might continue to face for the rest of my days in Japan. Now let's get home and get back to work.
ですね。ガソリン代ってやっぱり気にされてる方多いと思うんですよ。だからこそこういった機能を使えばパッと調べてくれる。非常に便利だと思います。さあそんな Yahoo カーナビ、基本的には無料で使うことができると思うんですけど、無料と有料のものもあるということで、これにはどういう違いがありますか？
はい、Yahoo カーナビ基本で利用できるんですけれども、有料プランが2つありまして、1つは Yahoo カーナビプラスって言って、取り締まり情報が確認できたりとか、あと目的地の周辺の雨雲レーダーが雨が降っているかとか分かったりとかっていう機能が使えるのが、月額250円 Yahoo カーナビプラスで、2つ目が推しドラっていう昨年の秋くらいからいろいろとリリースさせていただいてるんですけれども、ナビの声を好きなキャラクターとか推しに変更できるっていう機能がありまして、推しと一緒にドライブしようっていう推しドラっていうですね。はい、で一応ナビの右です左ですっていう風な音声案内の他に道なりの時とかにその推しが話しかけてくれる。すごい楽しい。一人で運転してても楽しいっていうそういう機能がございますので、月額550円でぜひ。
なるほど。推しと一緒にドライブできる感覚にもなれる。はい。チェックをしたい。もちろん先ほど言ってた月額250円の Yahoo カーナビプラス、雨雲レーダーとかもね、やっぱり旅行の時に目的地の雨雲レーダー見られるのはありがたいなと思います。はい。さあそんな便利な Yahoo カーナビから静岡県に住んでいる方にだけの特別なキャンペーンが今あるんですよね。
はい、ありがとうございます。静岡県にお住まいの方のみ8月14日まで、抽選で毎日1万円のガソリン券が当たるキャンペーンを実施しております。
すごいですよね。ガソリン券1万円分はだいぶ家計にありがたいですよね。これ今から夏休みでお出かけっていう方もいると思いますし、お盆に向けてね欲しい方たくさんいると思います。応募するにはどうしたらいいんでしょうか？
はい、Yahoo カーナビを無料でダウンロードしていただきまして X で指定の投稿をしていただくだけですので、詳しくは X でですね、ハッシュタグナビスル静岡で検索していただくとキャンペーン詳細が出てきますので、そちらチェックしていただく。
Home again. Ready? Well, we reached the end of the day. I did a lot of focused stuff in the afternoon, trying to clean up my phone, making space for more work, and kind of, wrestling a bit with, today's failure. It's troubling me more than it should. I think it's because it's so deeply revelatory of a lot that I wasn't aware of. I'm a match for this, though. I can handle this, and this won't unsettle me from my new life here. It just means that I have to, and it's eye-opening. See it in new light.